Answer.
Let's make it a true daily double, Alex.
2013 was the year of the staple Andean crop, which the UN hopes to help eradicate world hunger.
Yeah. What's other races?
What is quinoa?
Yes.
Nevertheless, I say, no, thank for that being a record, not necessarily being a whatsoever walks of life or whatever fashions of society or lifestyle preferences. And being the old and young alike, both in two sexual genders, and males and females, representing not only our own human species, then likewise as well the same, the global community, or whatever I ever said. Speaking correct, proper standard English grammar of American dialect of some such foreign countries are not been. Likewise as well, and all the same mean practically and possibly the same thing. So sorry about that. Obviously, evidently, I myself have to, take a refresher course on English 101. I mean, why repeat the same thing if you can say it correct the first time? Well, it all depends on the person or the individual. I mean, some more than others want to make sure that they have spoken a line of thought in the same sense of word, but they don't know discrepancy or, disagreement or, developing confusion or misunderstanding or whatever I've said. I would have thought just as much as I could possibly give the three greetings of hello, hey, hi. Okay. Because some people or persons are hard of hearing more than others. Also, likewise, as well, all the same, to avoid any developing lawsuits of opposing legal arguments. Disregard what you heard in the background. It's just more often than not. It's one rather immature, ignorant, insane, not to mention impolite or stupid, sick, sadistic, and rude. Proverbial neighbor from hell for the likes of this kind. Brainwashed, brain dead, and or boneless. Effing idiots, freaking idiots. Uncivilized, prehistoric Neanderthals. Be translated to be defined as meaning bonehead, butthead, cavemen and cavewoman characters from time sort of type. But anyway, though, getting back to some such other, as I think of it with that in my mind, to backtrack is what I meant to say. Sorry for the interruptions. Once again, I say
that is true. She used to brag about the fact that when I was 11, I won a local science fair, so I got to do a commercial for the local weather station, dancing and singing to the jingle. So
last, I was speaking upon, or as I think of it,
to sing and dance to the jingle.
that same mind's intention to try to backtrack here with no purpose then, or if I can go on with the following from when I had asked left off to try to finish up as a complete form of previous pride line thought in the same
last week I happened to mention Larry Martin.
And
who's not with us
as I was saying, in more words less, so I paraphrased not for exactly to finish up.
All of the players have been wearing purple.
Form of previous pride line thought.
That was your idea.
All of us contestants wanted to honor Larry's memory.
Stand solidarity with him, his wife,
all his loved ones.
Well, I know I was saying, and do regard reference to the then regard reference. I mean, practically impossible. But anyway, I was saying how, my social media family is supposed to be or from the very beginning, whatsoever races, but then not necessarily being whatsoever walks of life or whatever factors of society or lifestyle preferences. I mean, you gotta recognize and realize there's a reason or purpose for my having put it like that. I mean, people, places, and things being at the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong crowd could possibly develop into something to become or be the result of serious consequences. Been there, done that, and don't want to do it again. Anytime too soon enough again. God forbid, it may be a long time coming if and when that yet to be said, if at all, because I wouldn't be looking forward to that. So I say to you all, my social media family, being a Puma, likewise as well, I was saying, of the old and young alike, are both two sexual genders of males and females, representing not only the human species, but also the global community. Within this post-1 era of a new millennium in this apocalyptic day and age. And whereas the doomsday clock is now at 1/4 to midnight. Sorry about that, my bad. Prince of Peace continue to regulate my mind compared to how the Prince of Darkness took the few. And where the doomsday clock, tick-tock clock, and where the doomsday clock, but then the Asians have stolen quite a bit of our intellectual properties of social media. Not to mention real estate in the USA. We'll get back to some of such other. And where the doomsday clock is supposed to be at, those crazy rich agents from a communist country or nation or the People's Republic of China. But getting back to some such other. And where the doomsday clock is supposed to be, President Mr. Dotard of the USA is not the corona-Asian-virus. If anything, you would be much more correct to call it the corona-faggot-virus or the aka the COVID-19 homo pandemic. But then anyway, though, as I was trying to say, and where the doomsday clock is now at a few minutes to midnight, compared on to our formerly previous or prior to then, it was 1/4 midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. If not, better yet to be said, all right. If not, best of all to be said, to be feeling blessed and stressed. More blessed and stressed, and too blessed to possibly come or be stressed. You and yours, the family and friends, hopefully me and I, likewise as well, are all the same. But then, nevertheless, you all, or a person like myself, whatsoever that my person could possibly speak upon as the president given them time, be it one subject matter or another, or some such issue at hand. Pardon pun, none was intended. No offense or disrespect is meant to be directed at any past, present, or future sexual assault victims or rape victims, especially if they be of the likes of many different races of women and children, of whatsoever walks of life, factions of society, or lifestyle preferences. Although, regardless of how men get, sexually assaulted, raped, or attacked in an intimate, sensual, or sexual way, even so themselves, though they don't report as much as women and children. For obvious reasons or purposes, for that my person have led, so being on which to prove to have become or be quite evident, as in a no-brainer, likewise.
Have you been injured? Contact the Andrigan's Law for free.
I think you get the joint deal. I'm trying to say.
You can open your case from home at
as in other words, a no-brainer, rather to say. Then, which is self-explanatory. But without saying as well as it would go double, triple, he said. Somebody, man, they not wanting to be shamed in the general public's eyes, or, when a news story headline of that nature could possibly, hit the airways and become knowledge to the people at large, and they don't want it to be looked at as wolf or wimp, regardless of how, you would think that, few men can understand where they come from if they were overpowered by sheer numbers or by a much bigger opponent or foe, but, the majority, though, or most, they kind of frown upon a man getting pumped out. They consider that one is an easy pushover, or maybe one had contributed to one's attack. That's been because they're not thinking straight. Those are usually the dime a dozen moo cattle,
This is healthcare.
dumb dinosaur turds of men, male characters. Whereas it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out where their mindset is at. If they can't do the math, the simple math or reasoning that, well, if a guy or a fella has like a couple, few or two or three other guys outnumbering one, and they, get the drop on him, catch him with his pants down, meet him off at the pass, and, turn the tables on him, or if it's a much taller, bigger guy or fella weighing 2 or 3 times one's own size. The average male or majority don't look at it that way, unfortunately. From last I recall or recollect, as I remember. So that's one of the reasons why. Men don't report their attacks as much as women and children when it comes to that being of an intimate, sensual, sexual nature. Not to mean astray from what I was trying to say, as I'm trying to knock out this here intro before I were to get to speaking upon any subject matter or issue at hand of a given argument, be it a controversy or not, or be it a plague upon any given society, for a country or nation that has yet to be resolved, if it has not been already, or be I were to speak upon a couple, few or four more for that matter, and topics of discussions to be debated with many different views and opinions associated, affiliated with, and representing that being the same as said question or previous prior mentioned, conversations, dialogue, or 4 or more for that matter. But then don't kill the messenger. I'm just here to deliver. And just like I say, is regardless of whether or not is that what I'm saying, no. And just like I say, like, say, or how you say, hopefully with that much less usages of the sweetest of profanity, much rather than instead of with that much more cuss words, to simply say, and therefore, hopefully that much less like someone or such one being a whom is supposed to be a believer in God as a Christian, aka Protestant. No, don't even go there, don't even try, don't even think. If anything, hopefully I will speak upon some of such matters as a person who claims to be a believer in God as a Christian, aka Protestant, but rather what I meant to say before you were to, misconstrue or misunderstand my words and assume me, myself, to be contradicting that of my personal be meaning something altogether different to sounding or seeming contrary or contradictory or whatever say. But I was meaning to say is or how you say, hopefully, likewise then that much less like someone or such one being of whom is supposed to be a believer in God as a claim to be as a Christian, aka Protestant, to be going about playing the part of the devil's advocate and less three evils being a prodigal son. But the worst 2 evils is the likes of those false brethren, the supposed, the so-called holier than thou, modern day religious Pharisees and Sadducees, wolves in sheep's clothing, snakes in the grass, religious church hypocrites, religious phonies, religious shysters, religious charlatans, religious chameleons, religious con artists. The worstest of unbelievers and unbelievers being of deceivers who pretend to be believing in God as in Christians, aka Protestants, and in all reality are other likes among themselves of the worst of the worstest quasi devil worshippers, being of whom make up the majority of churchgoers of whatsoever religious denominations, from the pools to the pulpits of members and visitors alike. And now that I've gotten the preliminaries out the way of the basic introduction, then permit me, if you please, to get to speaking upon some of such matters, for whatever it may be, or for how many for that matter. So, ladies and gents, cowboys and gals, males and females, or whatever I've said, or different ones, for my social media family, or hopefully more of my social media family than any of the likes of the internet trolls, internet, and I'm trying trolls in the negative. But then if I would have any of them paying a visit to my own personal chat room once again, then first of all, let me say that, I believe in privacy. Then second of all, I believe in blocking, and very few people or persons being whom I block from my own social media broadcast that could be there. Do I admit to enter back in? That's just me. I don't know about anybody. I'm one person that has a zero tolerance level for internet trolls. Okay, that's just me.
In South America.
But anyway, getting back to some such others, I kind of woke up late today for some reason or another. Come with me.
The movies for 2000. Hugh Jackman
I can't complain. Lately, I've been having an epiphany, a revelation. I've been trying to get right with God once again. Regardless of how most recently when my cell phone started acting up, a pre-government issue cell phone. Then I remember, as I recollect, watching news headline story about how phones and any electronic device or communications is being sabotaged once again by hackers, And I'm wondering if that may have been the case or situation that happened to this one cell phone of mine, electronic device, where it's now no longer able to get internet upon some such being, which is a government issue cell phone. So I'm going to have to get in contact with the business company to find out what's going on, Although I can still place and receive calls upon some, but I'm like saying from that. Why bother using it if I can't get the unless I run out of minutes or something and have to purchase more minutes? So, yeah, why bother using it if I can't get the internet on it as well? As I would hook it up with one of my other phones, where I could borrow the internet from there and have it hooked up with the pre-government issue cell phone, which I haven't done it yet for some reason. But maybe God is trying to tell me something, because the last I was using the free government issue cell phone when it comes to internet, I was watching porn, I mean, God works in mysterious ways. I can't complain. I'm not gonna argue. Yeah, but anyway, though, see, after I woke up this morning, hopefully not so much as, hopefully not so much as be compared to how I woke up late, whereas I could have possibly woke up on the wrong side of the bed, likewise. Then I gone about, taking care of my personal hygiene, then dressed, and then eventually stepped out on after I had received a few prank calls. Then as I left text messages with the license, I couldn't get in contact with them. Otherwise, because when I did call back, I'm hearing some kind of voice recording saying, the user that you are, so I paraphrase my quote exactly, the user you are trying to reach, something about has either changed one's number or has been disconnected, or one's cell phone services no longer available, something like that. All right, what a cowardly punk faggot. I suspect it could have possibly been this one particular proverbial neighbor from hell, or public problem neighbor trying to be funny. Moonlight is a crank caller, But anyway, though, I can't complain. I'm back at my place, and I'm calling it a day now. Could possibly call it a night. Besides all that, in a little while, there's probably a thunderstorm coming to the Midwest of the USA at an effect.
Now they can.
They call electronic communications. Hopefully not. But then the weatherman said that over the next few days, it's supposed to become really damn hot as hell. Here we are going back in that direction, whereas the weather temperature is supposed to rise into the 90s and pushing 100. Other than that, I have quite a bit of bottled water I can throw in my fridge and freeze once again, so I'm not so much worried about that. And if I have to get some more bottled water, so be it, so that it's done. I have got at least 2 packages of bottled water, 24-ounce bottles,
I lost almost
don't make that 16-ounce bottles, 24 bottles of water per package, you know, but then it looks like somebody has been spilling my water again. Because I had bought 3 this time. I noticed in my refrigerator that over the past few days, I have been deprived of bottled water that I had stored in my fridge and freezer. Whereas a cowardly thief can't wait till I be here to pull that crap. Because one knows that one could possibly get a black eye, a bloody nose, a fat lip, a broken jaw, a couple few cracked ribs, and then some. So one waits till I leave my premises property to place of residence to pull that bogus crap. But it's all good. It's a drunk some of it, you know, and I hope I drink more, you know, before it goes from me and you have to make another purchase or something.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping me reach my
Then because like a white boy, I'm self-perspired quite a bit. No matter what I could do, like when I sweat like a white boy. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. You know. And West, I don't like it when the weather's temps get above 70 degrees within a summer season. And I don't like when the weather's temps drop below 0 so much during the winter season. Or should I say drop 18? Drop below 0 in the winter season. Drop below 0 within the winter season. And goes above 70 in the summer season. You know, that's just me. But other than that, it's all good. I mean, let me see what I got to balance off for what else I did for today. After I took care of my personal hygiene, I stepped out. I stopped at a few free spots of soup kitchens, moonlightness, food pantries. I was going to double them back and get to hollering at this one brother that's supposed to be like, you know, hooking people up, a different person for those free government issue cell phones. And as it appears to be the very telephone business company that I got hooked up with one. But the time I got back with him, he was long gone, you know. Just should have hollered at him then and there and just take a chance of me being late for either one of those 2 soup kitchens, which I had mentioned earlier, so that I could figure out with him, why am I not getting internet on this free government issue cell phone at the moment anymore? You know, although I could place and receive calls coming from services hooked up with that thing.
Which is what his invention measures.
Anyway, though, so I'm getting back to my place of residence, and I'm like, call it a night, practically. I know I called it a day. I'm looking forward to getting out there anytime too soon enough again. Though the weather is much more bearable than what it was the day before, yesterday or last night, and night before last, the day before yesterday, or the day before
Gilbert, come to you first, and we take a look and see if you came up with the correct response. You wrote down who is Bernoulli, and that is incorrect.
So I'm back here, and
let's go to your left now.
Feel pretty good. Well, I haven't read God's word in a few days. You know, just slacking up. I don't know, call it laziness, call it what you will, but I'm gonna have to get back off into reading there. Because we are living in some rather dangerous times to fulfill biblical prophecy. Being of wars and rumors of wars, pestilences and diseases, natural and man-made disasters, spiritual wickedness, high places of an age of lawlessness, etc. And whereas you got to be careful and look in the sky just in case one of them vultures or bats may be flying overhead, come down You think that one has an easy pickings of humans to attack, like the vintage classic pop culture movie flick of callback title of the birds, and then some. And you gotta make sure that your garbage is being disposed of properly, because you don't want to have it attract some of such other critters, namely roaches and rodents. You know how that is. And whereas at one time or another, I heard that in certain cities you have rats as big as tomcats and puppy dogs, and that is scary, Ooh, we tell me about it. The things that nightmares are made of, And rabies is not anything to play with. The bubonic plague of the medieval age was started by rodents, and some filthy white people, white persons, who were throwing their refuse of consumed food item products on the ground, on their floors of their different dwellings, without picking it up soon enough, and quite naturally that's going to attract a whole lot of critters, the animal species, the animal kingdom, and then some insects otherwise. So that's been filthy. Okay. Especially if your water supply could possibly become polluted with festering bacteria, viruses, or germs, and get you to think about third world countries or nations, be it Africa or South America, or the People's Republic of China, where the corona-faggot-virus or the COVID-19 homo pandemic is supposed to have had its origins. Then President Donald Trump quit calling it the corona-Asian virus, regardless of whether or not I could possibly be just saying that because I may want to get some such honeys of the Asian persuasion and be like, seeing how much they want to be like showing me that they could love me a long time. Whereas I would want to love them a long time as I would any other races of woman, a born and raised female person representing the opposite sex, but likewise whatever walks of life, factions of society, lifestyle preferences, who are not lesbians, or who are not she-faggots, or who are not gay, and who are not transgenders, and who are not female impersonators. Yeah, President Dotard, he would say, quit calling it the corona-Asian virus. That's racist and it's ignorant. Like the late MJ would say, not the b-ball player, but the movie star, actor, singer, dancer. That's ignorant. I said ignorant. Quit calling that, President Donald Trump. The coronavirus is not the corona-Asian virus. That's racist, man. How you gonna, diss a whole race of people's persons? I calling it that. That's racist. What are you, another Adolf Hitler or something? But anyway, y'all, yes. It's all good in the hood. I'm chilling, man. I'm feeling groovy. Oh, here's to you, Mrs. Robertson. Bum, 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 bum. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh my God, if I hear another word about the corona or COVID, Oh my God, what will you do? I don't know. I could change the channel. How much I do know. Anyway, getting back to some else, you know. Yeah. I don't know. Lately, I haven't really been wearing any mask unless I really have to. If I venture upon premises or properties or mass transits or public transportation system, in terms of this channel, I don't watch it. There's, when it comes to the afternoon, evening hour, it'll be about 5 or so. When it comes to the morning hour, it'll be about 7 or so. Very seldom I watch it earlier than 7. And very seldom I watch it later than 10. That earlier than 7 a.m. and later than 10 p.m.
So here are the latest.
I'm gonna turn on this here.
Anything we've seen and everything I've heard, certainly, and sure, he will be out and about, but it's
the damn hell with that,
make sure
you know?
people watching his back, whether he's concerned or not.
Hi, this is Timothy calling from San Pedro, California.
But
There's nothing new with the
anyway, though,
off of social media.
so
Because
I was saying I don't really wear the mask unless I really have to, unless there's no way that social distancing can or could possibly be exercised properly. Then I put on that mask in a minute's notice, you know, because I ain't trying to catch that. And if I have caught it before, I'm not trying to catch it again. That coronavirus, COVID-19, ain't nothing to play with. I mean, last I went to the hospital, it was because I thought I had, as I was up on the impression that I had swallowed a chicken bone from a chicken meal order from a fast food place, you know. But then they had informed me that I didn't have such still caught in my throat, you know. But while I was there waiting to be seen by a doctor, you know, they had took vital signs and everything. Then they had me be positioned among people who was trying to get tested for COVID-19, because I told them I was having symptoms. So I'm like, man, it's like out of the frying pan into the fire. I'm not saying I ain't trying to catch that from anybody. So though sometimes I would forget to put them on there, I'll put it back on, you know, once I recognize and realize where I was at. You know, I'm like, man, they here because they been tested for COVID-19. But it's here to be checked out for a chicken bone. But when I gave symptoms like I had informed some of certain medical personnel, there they had me, you know, see a doctor where people, persons supposed to be getting tested for the coronavirus, COVID-19. And that pissed me off, you know. And as I get to reflecting on, there's a saying that you can go to a hospital for one thing and then come out there with, you know, cover 3 or 4 more things wrong with you. Damn it. I like, son of a bitch. And hopefully what I have become subjected of, you know, experiencing cold-like symptoms is not been because I may have contracted something from one of those other persons or patients of outpatients in a particular hospital who were there to be tested for the coronavirus COVID-19. You know, that's a scary thought. But so far, I've still been feeling pretty good, so I ain't gonna worry about the God. It just gave me reflecting upon what I last mentioned. So I went to this one eating spot, you know. And this drug push, he got the kicking it with me. You know, I didn't know he was a drug push until he said so. Drug push and dope. He was saying, I had to go to court today. I said, man, that food was good. Then I had to go to court today. I said, what for? He said, for drugs. I said, for using? He said, no, for selling. Like, man, what's up, man? Do I need to know all that about you? Right? I mean, do I have to hear this here? I'm like thinking. I mean, after trying to eat a good meal, you know, like as if they stalking me, some drug pushers, dope dealers. So like whenever I go to get a free meal at a free eat spot of a soup kitchen or food pantry, I got to think about some drug pusher, dope dealer. Like I'm feeding for a square. Like, get out of here. Because if I had known he was a drug pusher, dope dealer, I wouldn't have given him the time of day. Cause I don't hang with characters like that, you know. I consider these characters poisoning their own people, person, selling new squares, lace group. Who knows what? God only knows. I said, man, push on, man. Cause a drug pusher, dope dealer to me, I'm just gonna tell it like it is. A drug pusher, dope dealer to me is like a cocksucking fag, you know, a homo, you know. I ain't trying to go out like that listening to some Yahoo or that nature, urban cowboy, funky or foul as hell, that did be assumed to be of the likes of his kind. Somebody, you know, see me in this company and hear me talking with him, they be thinking I'm one of them jokers, like, oh, he ain't about nothing. He's a poop butter, pissing just like the other, you know, character he's talking, selling some bogus stuff to his own people, folks, poisoning his own neighborhood community here and there. So I'm like, man, I'm just gonna tell like it is. A drug pusher, dope dealer to me, in other words, is no better than a rapist or pedophile. You know, as well as no better than a faggot, cocksucking balls looking homo. You know, okay, that's how I look at them. You know, like the average white boy of a Klansman and your Nazi or racist rednecks is like a faggot or a rapist or pedophile to me, likewise. Or like the average black militant who's not standing on anything, that's perpetrating on fraud is other likes himself, you know. Okay, and if members of the Black Panther Party that's now become just as bogus as members of the Black Lives Matter movement, then that male members, then they ain't nothing but the same themselves, as said the question to private. Because if I had told y'all before, then I tell you again right here and now, you know, and I'm pretty sure I did that. You know, the Black Lives Matter movement was originally established by a commie, racist, redneck, Zionist, Jewish white boy. You know, George Soros, who had only escaped the concentration camps, POW camps, or death camps, being because of his wealthy or rich parents, who had paid off, you know, the higher ups of Nazi poop buster piss ants, you know, to have their son George Soros escape the death camps, and they likewise had paid off a high-ranking Nazi official, a racist redneck white boy, who was moonlighting as what you call a secret police of the Gestapo for the Fourth Reich, as well as he was an SS Nazi officer, you know, commanding of some such of a death camp himself, you know, and whereas he adopted George Soros, and George Soros in return had confiscated real estate premises, properties of the former owners, who just happened to be of his own white Jewish race of peoples, you know. And then he confiscated their real estate premises, properties for little nothing. Usually it was for nothing, not paying one red cent to acquire some of such. Stole it right from up on their nose after they were sent to the POW camps. And then years later, he would immigrate. So I meant to say it's after the interruption. He would immigrate to America, the USA, and then he would establish different. He would establish a code, establish different radical political and paramilitary violent organizations, being which more than quite a few, you know, were amassing the thought of attempting to overthrow our own U.S. government And one of the movements that he had co-founded was the Black Lives Matter movement. Very few members of the Black Lives Matter movement know that the Black Lives Matter movement is nothing but a Marxist Engels commie organization founded by George Soros. You know, get a clue. And the funny thing is, I get to thinking, how come whenever a black person gets murdered or killed by a white, racist, redneck, faggy, or possibly worse yet, closet faggot cocksucker, closet Klan, or closet Nazi white boy, that black people, the black persons who are card-carrying members to that commie radical organization of the Black Lives Matter movement come out in droves? But whenever a black person murders or kills another black person, you don't see hide nor neither hear peep out of them. That's hypocritical. So I sympathize with that one black African immigrant sister who is possibly in the process of becoming a nationalized American citizen, was saying to the likes of members of the Black Lives Matter movement. Y'all is hypocritical, because she was saying the same thing that I said, you know, where it didn't really register in my mind that much more, because I had my suspicion about that until she spoke on that. So she was saying the same thing, so I paraphrased, not quote exactly. How come whenever a white boy cop kills a black person, then members of the Black Lives Matter movement comes out in droves, but whenever a black person murders or kills another black person, you don't see hide, neither nor hear peep out of them? She was saying that's hypocritical. She said, if you're going to protest against a white cop killing a black person, then protest just as much when a black person kills another black person. So she was saying, y'all full of it, you know. Hey, what can I say? I know I'm gonna catch a lot of slack from that, but hey, what can I say, baby? I'm just trying to get out this truth. I possibly catch a lot of slack from having mentioned how, you know, George Floyd was supposed to have been a 33rd and a third degree Freemason, you know, where he kind of brought something of a curse upon himself, because when you affiliate or associate with representing these different secret societies and royal families, then it comes with the territory, you know, curses, you know, then blessings. Then because the average secret society and royal family, the majority of secret societies and royal families are off into devil worship. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think Kanye West had got the mouthing off at one given moment in time or another? Because he was getting sick and tired of them demons attacking him. You know, sometimes on a daily and nightly basis, before he supposedly had come clean and hooked up with this here one white boy who's supposed to be, you know, a closet devil worshiper himself, you know. So I wonder if Kanye West was really attempting, you know, trying to use that word. I like to think that he's law-abiding and attempting to work with criminals. You would like to think he was really trying to get clean, trying to clean his slate with God, you know. But all considered, I don't know. Anyway, though, you all, so I may be wrapping this up shortly after, you know, and because call me lazy, lately call me what you will, but that's not the case. I mean, you know, sometimes you just have to take a back seat on issues at times and rest up before you like, you know, because when you speak upon something that's really deep, it can take a lot more out of you than you just be talking about some goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Depending on whether or not I have others that are more willing to, you know, come forward and speak their minds on these things at the same line of thought, you know, it's going to decide at times what is the time frame period length of me broadcasting, you know. After all, I have told you all before, time and time again, how I don't have a church home, And whereas I usually encounter false brethren for any given sabbatical Sunday of the weekend, when I myself were to attend religious church service and sabbatical Sunday school class, but lately I haven't been able to do that even so. Not to mention I haven't been able to attend any self-help recovery program meetings because this corona-faggot-virus or COVID-19 homo pandemic, because the devil is slick. He has even used this year as a means to prevent believers in God from assembling, because he knows him and his devil and demons know that the church of real Christians, being the few, are the biggest threat to he himself, attempting to establish his kingdom upon the planet Earth, that much more on the world. You know what I'm saying? But then if y'all just haven't gotten Christ as your own personal Lord and Savior, I hope that you would think to do so now, while the blood is still running warm in your veins, by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary, hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some such Roman soldiers up by the orders of that release superior, being a Pharisee and Sadducee, but then nevertheless, whereas he himself had given his life upon the cross of Calvary, become that perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So as then of us being whatsoever racism or whatever walks of life, fascination, society, lifestyle preferences, being of the old and young alike, both two sexual genders representing the global community within this post 911 era of our new millennium of this apocalyptic day and age, where the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes of midnight, compared our former periods prior to it was a quarter midnight for these liabilities for that time. Word to profess some such faith in them, from there we would come and be blessed in one God another. More words than one. I said more words than one. First and foremost, with his salvation being which is the only means which we can or could possibly keep out of that lake of fire down hell. The second part with his deliverance while we're still here. But first you have got to get his salvation before you can or could possibly become and be blessed in any regard. Otherwise you have nothing coming so far as blessing is concerned. And once you're worthy to make that transition for the great beyond of the hereafter afterlife, if you don't have that blood sacrifice of our Lord and Savior Christ inside to live upon and within your soul, your final destination will be the lake of fire down hell with the rest of the unsaved, unbelieving, non-believing, them whom you would be assembled with, who would be tortured and terrorized forever, as they will receive that being punishment coming from the devil and the demons, compared to how we as believing God, as a Christian, aka Protestant, would be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell and beyond the pearly gates, as citizens of the kingdom of heaven, the presence of fellow saints, Christians or believers in God, as an aka Protestant, and the presence of God in his name of God. Because you have first got to accept Christ as your personal Lord and Savior while you're still here. Otherwise, you have nothing coming so far as blessings. And then there are really no unbelievers and non-believers in damn hell, because once they were to go there, they become believers in God as a Christian, aka Protestant. But they haven't professed faith in God would have come much too late. See? Okay. And whereas the majority of them are there to stay, compared to the few that will go to hell, that can come out of some stuff if they were to become subject to experiencing one of those beyond and back experiences through the grace of God, where from there they can reverse their decision to have rejected so great a salvation by professing faith in Christ once they were to come back upon the planet Earth and living in human form, where they can reverse that decision of having rejected so great a salvation of our Lord and Savior Christ and decide they want to accept him as their own personal Lord and Savior then and there, so that they can be included among the household of faith of like-minded believing God as a Christian. You all take care. John 3:16. Be blessed, peace.